Okay, let's talk about shielding today. Yeah, it's something so basic, but then yet I feel like it's a topic that I can go deeper into it. Now, whenever you or any coaches talk about shielding, okay, they will usually talk about number one, you need to put the ball in between. Say, example, if this is my opponent, in between the ball and say my opponent that's behind me. And then often or not, of course, they'll say two hands onto your stick, and you gotta protect the ball that way. But today I'm just gonna go deeper into it in terms of how can you, or in my opinion, you can actually protect the ball even better. Okay. Now, first things first, whenever you are to protect the ball this way, or if I were to say I'll protect the ball on my backside and I'm facing the camera now this way, what happens is in a very straight-ish position, okay, my eyes, right, can only see around here, correct? I'm almost unable to do this. Of course, I can do this for a split second. Example, I control and I look back for a split second, but I'm unable to spot whatever that's behind me unless specifically I just look at where the stick comes from, correct? So in my opinion, what I'll actually tend to do, same thing. Let's say the cone is my opponent. Okay, what I'll try to do instead is to have this sort of separation instead. So you can actually see that on one hand, I can see the ball. On the other end, I can also see where my opponent is coming from. Now, if my opponent is coming from here, it's very clear cut. I can see it, and so therefore I can go to the other side. Okay, and if the opponent decides to go away, I can now see that there's totally enough space for me to maneuver, and I can possibly escape through there. Okay, this is in the event when I'm holding to my strong side. This is my strong side because I'm a lefty, and so therefore I'll hold it this way. But of course, in the game itself, the ball is round, people are moving and running, I am moving and running. This is the very event where if I'm able to go to a very full stop, I will try to align it this way, which means if let's say the opponent moves this way, instead of me doing this to protect the ball, where now I cannot see my opponent, I will instead try to shuffle from here and shuffle all the way to here, so that then now again same thing, I can see my opponent and I can also protect my ball. Okay, now if or what happens if the ball is now on my backside? Okay, if it's now on my backside, I'll just try to do it this way. Same thing, the opponent is over here. Of course, I'm unable to do this. If I were to do this, it looks very funny. Number one, I only have eyes on the ball. Number two, very difficult to turn back and look at the opponent. Okay, and just simply, it just feels awkward. I feel like going back to this position, which is, as per what I said, something very basic, but I don't think it can shield the ball off well that easily. Now, if it's over here on my weaker side, right, on my weaker side, what happens now is I would need to rely more on my one hand on the stick, and my off hand, which is my secondary hand, I will tend to, or if you were to see some of the videos by players, okay, after the strange cut, let's resume back. Now, it simply just want to get back to this notion of one hand onto the stick controlling the ball, and your off hand, right, would now act as a separator. Okay, I'm just later, I'll just going to show you over here, but I'm going to separate myself away, ball away from my opponent, and from there, now I can easily protect the ball so much better. Why? Because if someone is here and he has his kind of forearm to guard away from me, it is so much more difficult for me to then reach it off or reach towards the ball. Okay, now to solve the problem, when you are doing this, please do not push up the elbow, because now it looks like you're elbowing someone. And please not too much on the hands, because then you might slap onto his face, his eyes, or whatsoever. But what you need to simply do from this angle is to now ball away, one hand, hands out, just to guard yourself away from the opponent towards getting the ball. Now, of course, most of the time when this happens, it usually is pretty close towards the boards. And so therefore, what you want to do is you want to be able to now guard and then now bring the ball away. And when it's suitable or when there's a good chance where because he overcommits this side, you can now turn and face and now play it on the other side as per normal. But all in all, this is a good way of separating the ball away from opponents and therefore improving your shielding just by doing that adjustment by itself. So to summarize very quickly, it's all about the alignment again because the ball is moving here and there, but what you always try to find the alignment is this: the opponent, which is my cone, myself, and the ball, one straight line. So you are creating this one straight line. If the opponent were to move here, for example, then you were to move it away, and then so therefore that one straight line. Now if it's towards your strong side, same thing, you want to create that one straight line, ball, body, and as well as the opponent, but without turning your butt facing your opponent. Same thing over here, which is ball, body, and opponent without turning your butt and facing your opponent. So something that's very subtle, but I hope it's something useful for you to bring it upon. You can practice it a bit with you and your partner and see if it does works. Apply into the game, see if it does works as well, and then from there you will possibly learn a new way of shooting the ball. Now with that, do also take note www.floorballbasics.com is the website where you can go into to check out more of my academy in regards to U12 and U8 age group, where you can send your kids or you can come and register to train floorball more. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Please tell me I got record. Yes.